How's it going, everyone? Today you can see I'm actually out here on the lake. Just had a pretty okay day on the water for January, and I noticed a few things that I didn't really notice today, but definite trends that I've been operating with the last, I don't know, year or so. One of them has to do with how fish act in grassy lakes, like I'm fishing offshore grass. And it's just that when the lake is falling or dropping, the fish act very similar to like a shallow flip bite or something like that. If you have rising water, a lot of times those fish will push up even shallower. Well, what I'm noticing with the fish that are relating to grass on a year-round basis is that when the lake is rising, a lot of times those fish will position themselves a little bit higher in the grass or even right above the grass. They're not necessarily more active, I'd say. It actually maybe throws them off a little bit. Not so much as falling water, but rising water. I wouldn't say it's a perfect condition. I really like fishing stable water on grass fisheries. That being said, the way that I figured out how to catch these fish more consistently is to use baits that really can trace that grass edge on the top of the grass. And for me personally, it's a jerk bait. Today I did get on a pointer 100, just a regular old Lucky Craft pointer. In the shallower grass, 2 to 5 feet. And then I'm catching fish also really well on this Strike King red eye shad. I use the LV 500 if it's a little deeper, but the red eye shad's perfect for what I've been fishing lately, which is 6 to 8 feet deep. So I mean, if you can think about those two baits as a tool to cover a ton of water that's actually not necessarily on the grass, but right above the grass where the fish are at right now. I'm going from where I'd probably be catching only 1 or 2 fish a day to catching 5, 6 plus up to 10 or a dozen fish a day. Depending on the exact conditions. But I feel like those two baits have been saving me pretty much from blanking the last couple trips. This January has been, I don't know, I guess it'd be unseasonably warm, but the fishing just been brutally tough. I'm not really sure why, because the water's not extremely cold. It's definitely cold. It's in the low 40s most days, and the fish aren't super active, but they're just not feeding like they should. I've had good days in 35 to 38 degree water, better than I've had in 40 plus degree water a lot of times. But we're not quite getting that cold. The fish are still eating. They're tough to catch. These are the two baits that I'm catching them on like crazy. It's not like a wide open bite, but those are the only ones. I've got a whole bunch of rods on my boat, as you can see, that I'm trying to catch fish on. Those are the two I'm getting bit on, period. And I think that goes back to the tip of the week, which is really a mindset and an observation that when the lake is rising, grass fisheries, the fish will position themselves just right above the grass. If I could show you a picture of my graph right now, idling around the lake, you see a lot of fish just right above the grass. So maybe that's something that you can apply on your fisheries, get you a couple more bites when it's cold in the wintertime, or when the lake's even rising. They might position a little bit higher out of the grass. One thing I've noticed, it's definitely held true for the last 6 months for sure. It's just they've been dropping and raising this lake like crazy, and that's how I'm catching them. And it's just, I think the bite should be changing soon, but it's still the red trap and the jerkbait have been what I've been getting them on. So thank you guys for viewing. Stay tuned for next week. I'll be going down to Havasu to fish the FLW at the beginning of February. Hopefully that goes good. And I'll be sure to check in with you guys as soon as possible. Have a good one. Thanks for viewing.